Otherwise, how could he fund med school? The man pulled out the payment proof. The page was packed with payment records. He ran out to confront his younger brother. Seeing Haitian rush out, he followed. He had given them a large amount of cash, which was used to fund his nephew's restaurant. If you pursue this matter further, he'll pull out, ruin his nephew's future. Haitian has reached the hospital. Why take money from the chairman? Not to let a third party know about the funding, he quickly says no. Why he would take the other party's money? This makes Haitian sure younger brother's the killer, but Haitian tells Halfong. Halfong is quite confused. He recalls Jasmine telling him that she saw younger brother with the chairman. He feels this is linked to him. Haitian randomly gets on a city bus to clear his mind. Teasing out lost in thought, he drifts off to sleep until everyone has left. The driver wakes him up. He sees an old lady smiling at a stroller. Haitian's mood also improves. Heading straight for the stroller, he runs in front of the excavator, exerted all his strength to stop it. It was stolen corn, fainted in anger. And knew Haitian was the one who returned. Haitian was puzzled and explained that 10 years ago, her husband also returned. Once healed by themselves, just like you now. Returning didn't make his siblings happy. When he found out his brother was the culprit, he didn't know what to do. Haitian asked Anne when her husband disappeared. Did she know when it happened? Anne said she knew, but she couldn't tell Haitian yet. Worked diligently all day on the farm. Could she tell him now? Anne said she would tell him after feeding in the morning. Afterward, Anne said, Haitian is very angry. Anne started telling her story again. She and her husband were childhood sweethearts. They were very loving after marriage, but ever since her husband passed away, she felt life lost all hope. Her life changed again. Haitian asked if she was very sad after her husband left. Hetty said she wasn't sad at all because she had embraced it. She told Haitian to treat each day as if it were the last. Don't leave any regrets behind. Only when you're happy can you make your siblings happy too. After their talk, Haitian's troubles were resolved. That night, Andy drove Haitian home. He doubted there was parking. Hetty said she was a VIP client. Someone would help park. She asked Haitian to grab a bite. He declined the request. He hurried back to see his girlfriend. Once they have it, they aren't worried. We need to make him feel pressed. He hears Jasmine is dating. He is very mad. How could she date? At the restaurant, he sees them waiting for their dates. Each takes away one. On their way back, Jasmine complains about where Haitian has been. He pulls her in for a kiss. After the kiss, she goes quiet. Jasmine wants more answers. Haitian cups her face again, as he's about to kiss her again. Haitian walks away, feeling pleased, but Jasmine gets madder as she thinks. Then follows with the right hook. I'm knocking you around. The next day, when he saw Haitian in the group photo, he was shocked. The death list confirmed that Haitian was the one who died. What in the world is happening? He drove there to verify for himself. But the manager still couldn't accept this fact. His presumed brother-in-law was actually Jasmine's real boyfriend. He drove away alone. What he can't have isn't worth forcing. Haitian saw that the manager finally accepted him and happily embraced him. He noticed his body was becoming transparent and asked if her husband had experienced this too. His aunt told Haitian, your time is running short. Cherish the remaining moments. So Haitian borrowed a camera from Aunt. He planned to record some videos for his friends to tell them about his disappearance again. At that moment, he saw Jasmine with her new curly hair. Haitian was thrilled and wanted to film her. Jasmine was already shy. She felt her hair looked ugly. She got a bit mad. The next day, Josie had been close with the bully in high school. Jasmine asked if he was with the bully that night. Then he told Jasmine George was also in the art room that night. Jasmine quickly shared this news with Haitian. Haitian sought out George that night. What exactly happened? Seeing he had been exposed, George revealed the truth. He had seen the bully picking on a friend's brother. He was very angry. He met the bully in the art room tonight to warn him not to cause trouble. Chevly pushed and then left. Spent a long time outside. Saw he didn't come out. He found him sprawled in a pool of blood. Terrified, he called his father. And since Haitian was already dead, he didn't surrender. Haitian stared at George, furious. He never expected that the real killer was his own best friend. Without him, his siblings wouldn't suffer as murderers, enduring others' insults. At this point, George knelt, begging for Haitian's forgiveness. But Haitian merely shot him a cold glance, said nothing, and walked away. The next day, Anne found Haitian. She asked what he'd tell his siblings about the disappearance. Haitian was still hesitant, afraid it would hurt them. But the aunt said, that's what the living should consider. If you don't say a word of farewell, they'll regret it even longer. Haitian finally made up his mind. Asking about leaving, Haitian was also candid and saw the manager. He decided to team up with Jasmine. He was reviewing videos left for his girlfriend, listening to the farewell words to Jasmine on screen. Thinking of his quick departure, Haitian felt very sad, remembering their special times, the happy times they had together. Just then, Jasmine walked in. Haitian quickly hid the camera under the sofa. Halfon had already identified the main suspect. It might be Donsi. His whereabouts had been tracked down. Capturing him would clear their name, but Haitian already knew. George confessed to the murder, so he wasn't very happy after Jasmine left. Later, Haitian picked up Jasmine. He asked her for some drinks. Jasmine told Haitian her birthday was approaching, and she already had her wish list ready. Jasmine listed the gifts she wants from 19 to 30. Jasmine fidgeted and stayed quiet. Jasmine explained angrily in the end, for 20, I want a kiss from you. After saying that, she shyly stepped aside. Haitian stood there, stunned for a long time, while waiting for the bus. He said to Jasmine, if you want it, I'll give it to you now. He then hugged Jasmine first. The two embraced tenderly at the bus stop all night. He remembered this was the photo Jasmine showed him yesterday. That man just now is Donzi. He hurried to tell Halfon and Jasmine. He dropped out and moved abroad soon after, and he was spotted at the school that night. He's likely the culprit. George called. He wanted to meet him at the police station. George stood at the police station to confess. He told George that he would soon disappear. He can bear it all. Besides, you didn't kill him. Halfon's investigation says Donsi is the main suspect. George heard this. He claimed Donsi was indeed at school that night. I saw him too. Haitian was very upset. He felt more sure George wasn't the killer. George only pushed the bully, but the statue fell and didn't hit anyone, and Donsi was cuckolded by the bully. He took his girlfriend. In the fight, he knocked over the statue, killing the bully. Meanwhile, Jasmine returned home, finding Haitian's camera. It was a goodbye video for herself. At that moment, Haitian just returned home. She questioned Haitian about the video. She looked at him sadly. Are you leaving now? Are you going back? She left, heartbroken. But she wouldn't listen, because she didn't want to lose her beloved again. She couldn't bear that kind of pain. After 12 years, they reunited. Haitian sat at his doorstep alone all night. He was waiting for Jasmine. The next day, Jasmine got off the bus. She accepted it, because it would go. On the way to dinner, Jinyon took out the couple t-shirts he had prepared. He wanted to trade shirts, but Haitian said he wasn't ready and declined, because he had other plans. So, they reached the revamped restaurant. Jasmine got splashed with water in the restroom. Haitian took out the outfit from Jasmine. They were both surprised to see each other in couple outfits. That they could be together. He hoped Jasmine wouldn't be too sad after he left. He quickly made an excuse and laughed. Haitian saw little boy crying. He hurried to ask what happened. Her heart sank suddenly. Could it be that he has gone to another world? She found it hard to accept this fact. He had just gone to do a good deed on the way home. She quickly went back to the park with Haitian. The next day, the finder reached Jasmine. He gave her his card and told her he wished to invite her to the paper. But Jasmine wanted to spend her last moments with Haitian.